Most of you are probably here because of him. We had a baker's dozen of subscribers here before many of you showed up by way of that interview that I did with. Hey, brother. This is Brother Eric with True Roots Ministries. Uh, so I'm sitting here a week or so removed from the interview that I did with my friend Luke on his Life podcast, which was a great time. That was about a 4 hour interview that Luke distilled down to a little over 2 hours. We talked about a lot. And so, hey, some of you are probably here as a result of that interview. And this is primarily who this is to. I wanted to just welcome you here. I wanted to thank you for considering what we're doing over here. And right now, we don't have a whole lot on the channel, but we've got some big things in store. I've got some really fun things that I want to do. One of the things that I'm going to do real soon is sit down with my wife, Sam, and I want to talk to her about her perspective of our entrance into the Hebraic roots and what that was like, and see her side of the story and let her talk about that. We had a house church for almost 8 years. We had a lot of people in and out of our home. It was fun. We had some ups and downs, and it was definitely challenging at times, and very, very fulfilling. And we grew a lot in that time and learned a lot from it. So a lot of my opinions that I shared are really based on life experiences. And a lot of the things that I see now, and I look back on myself and that time period, and it was a time of growth, but there were things that we could have done better. And so, hey, this ministry kind of exists for that type of person, somebody who's new to the Hebraic roots and is just looking for a little bit of assistance in how to navigate this walk into a new world. And it can be difficult, and I understand that. And hey, some of you, this is not your cup of tea, and you've got things that you're interested in sharing. And I've actually read some of the comments that were on Luke's channel, and hey, I totally recognize some of the stances on some of those because I was you. And so, hey, I'm not going to argue with anybody. If you're coming here to argue about positions or name pronunciations or calendars or whatever, you're in the wrong place. You're welcome to stay, and I really would love for you to stick around, but I'm not going to argue with you because I was you, and there was nothing that I could have said to myself at that time that would have really made a difference. And so, hey, blessings to you, and I encourage you to stick around, and maybe you'll learn from some of the things that I've learned along the way. And I'll go into all of those things about where I stand on those issues. And it was just really hard to talk about a period of 15 years or so, distilled down into a little over a 2 hour conversation. So this is the place where you'll get the long form of where we were and where we are and how we got here and where we want to go from here. I've got some really big things in my heart that the Lord has placed upon me that I have talked about to some people that I won't really release now, but they're big. Hey, they involve creating a large educational system and big stuff that we're just not. It's not the right season to move into. But here pretty soon, I'm going to just start in the book of Genesis, and we're going to take a high level view through the whole scriptures and really hit on the overarching story of the Creator's redemptive plan for mankind. And I think sometimes getting into the Torah, we go back to Moses coming down from the mountain and we forget that that the Torah is a pathway to Abraham's covenant, which is a pathway back to the covenant made with mankind, Adam's descendants in Genesis 3. And um, that's what I want to hit on and focus on. And so, if that's something that's interesting you, and you want to come back and do it in bite-sized pieces, that's what I'm going to do. They're going to be short videos, trying to do 15 minutes or less to keep them digestible. And then along the way, I'm going to interview a lot of people who have impacted me. I'd like to return the favor and get Luke on here. I love what he's doing. He is a real man of God. I know him personally. He's a friend of mine. We've broken bread together. I've held his children. I know his mom. His mom was in my house church, and so I know what they're doing. I know his heart, at least from what I know from him, and he's really doing great things for the community and for the kingdom. And I hope that you go back and that you support them, that you support what they're doing with their tracks, that you support him by purchasing his books and distributing them if you can, if you have the means to do so. Become a Patreon supporter with him and support that ministry, because they've got a great platform. And for the most part, most of you are probably here because of him. You know, we had a baker's dozen of subscribers here before many of you showed up by way of that interview that I did with Luke. And so there's a lot more to come, and I hope you come back and join us. And I'm really thankful that you're here and at least giving consideration. I love the scriptures. I love the Torah. I love Yeshua. And I love what it's done for my family, and I'd like for you to join me on that journey. So, hey, I hope you come back. I hope you subscribe to the channel. I hope you share, and all of those things that help the algorithms. And we'll see you soon. Okay? Thank you, and God bless, and we'll see you again. Goodbye.